Meanwhile, at the Hall of Cage.
This is my snakeskin jacket, and for me, it's a symbol of my individuality and belief in personal freedom.
Oh God, not the bees.
Killing me won't bring back your goddamn honey.
What do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save the fucking day.
How absurd.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
How absurd. I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence. How absurd.
How, in the name of Zeus's butthole, did you get out of your cell?
How absurd.
What's in the bag? A shark or something?
How absurd.
Well, I think you better pull the trigger, because I don't give a fuck.
How absurd.
I never disrobed before gunplay.
How absurd.
All right, no, we're actually working. Okay. Took me a second to get the thing working.
So we already had this week's this episode of Cajun Karaoke. It's just us just thinking.
Spider!
What?
Just keeping you on your toes.
Oh,
fucker.
fuck you.
That's a bitch move there, bud.
Oh, yeah,
That's not an okay way to open this episode of Cajun Greatness.
I think that's the most appropriate way to open up an episode of Cajun Greatness, with some sort of monster attack at least.
That is very true. I was, like, when we walked down here, I did very strongly check this back corner behind me. There are cobwebs, and I'm not comfortable.
Oh, man.
Hey, we sprayed down here the other day.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
we killed all of the creepy crawlies.
And Frank gave me a bottle of Bengal Tiger bug spray for my birthday.
Well, there you go. Okay, so we're good then.
Was it just like
Probably.
tiger sauce with a spray nozzle on it?
No, it's just an off-brand of bug spray. Like had like a bag with like all the funny color paper, and it opened up. It's just bug spray.
Well, I mean, we do need it. We keep getting killed by things like the spiders and roaches
And electricity.
and electricity. Really, it's just me. I am in danger.
But did you die?
No. Not this time. Ain't no damn guarantees.
Yeah, we just put Shem in the bubble from now on.
I wouldn't mind. Ugh. Anyway,
Move over, Jake Gyllenhaal. There's another boy in a bubble.
and John Travolta. He was the original Bubble Boy.
Was
In that one episode of Seinfeld.
I keep thinking that Brendan Fraser was in a bubble movie, but that's just blast from the past, right?
Yeah, no, that's just, he was in the Locked in the Basement movie. That was actually pretty good.
Man, I really like that movie.
I barely remember it. Like I remember seeing it like on TV, but just like in passing.
I enjoyed it because I really liked Brendan Fraser, and I had a crush on Alicia Silverstone, so it was a good time all around.
No, it's unrelated because I was listening to a podcast today that's about celebrity gossip and rumor, and one of the hosts was talking about how they got like one of their like first like bone dreams to that movie because they were really hot for Alicia Silverstone, and so like they would have like their sexy dream, but also Brendan Fraser would be there. So they're trying to like crank it, but they're just trying not to remember that
sounds
Brendan
like
Fraser.
an even sexier dream.
Depending on who you talk to.
I mean, do you remember Alicia Silverstone was Batgirl in Batman and Robin?
Yeah.
Do you know a lot of like the media and whatnot kept calling her Fat Girl?
Really?
Yeah,
That's really fucked.
That's really fun. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, I don't. Well, that was also the same time period where like Kate Moss and the super duper rail thin models were the hot rage. So anyone like her who had hips and curves and was gorgeous was just shit on
It's
entirely.
like, who's this? Who's fucking Free Willy over here?
Look at those birthing hips. I bet you could pass a baby, no problem. That's not what we like. Go do some cocaine. Because,
Yeah.
models and cocaine.
Because you know what I want to see? This mic stand in a bikini. This exact mic stand
Look,
right here.
If a model can't hide behind a cartoonishly small tree, just like Bugs Bunny, I don't want anything to do with her.
Or turn to the side and just disappear. Like she's just 2D man.
However, if that's what you want to do with yourself, that's perfectly fine as long as you're not harming
If that's
yourself.
your natural body shape,
Yeah.
then do you, and that's fantastic. If you're starving yourself or you have some sort of eating disorder to try and get to that ridiculous goal, and it's not your body shape, please seek help because it's not healthy, and we just want the best for you here at Cajun Greatness.
Yeah, we.
Fuck society's expectations. They're stupid.
But Cajun Greatness is all about body positivity.
That's right, because I personally am a fat fuck. So,
I'm a fat fuck too.
Samesies.
oh, shut up. You're not fat.
No, you're not.
Yes.
Hey, look, we're not going to be comparing like waist sizes. Around.
The point of all that was, I really liked Alicia Silverstone.
Yep.
Yeah, Clueless. I love Clueless. Paul Rudd was great in Clueless, but we're not talking about Clueless today.
Well, we could talk about Paul Rudd because he was pretty hot in that movie.
I mean, he looks somehow younger now than he did in Clueless.
See, what we're actually going to do is talk about like the movies that we had our first crushes to.
I mean, I get it. The man has found the actual fountain of youth, but at the same time, look at him in Clueless and look at him now. He's aged a bit.
I mean, like
That's just 'cause his hair
it's a
was slightly longer.
hyperbolic
He
statement.
looked like a vampire in Clueless now that you think about it. He was so pale. He is a vampire.
Yeah,
It
you got
all makes sense now.
you got-
oh my God, the finger guns are at me
You got a
again.
problem with
Shit.
Pasty Boys on this show?
All right.
Pasty
this is-
Boys.
we're-
I carry the card for that one, bud.
Bitch, I don't see a
Hey, we all know how this ends.
I was just going to say I left my wallet upstairs. I would have shown it to you.
5 minutes in, welcome to Cajun Greatness,
Hello, everybody.
the show where we talk about the movies of Nicolas Cage and how Thomas Jefferson was a massive, massive prick.
And so was Eric Clapton.
Yeah, Eric Clapton
Yeah.
also really sucks.
Super sucks.
Not great.
And that one dude from Fleetwood Mac.
I would dare say most of the people from Fleetwood Mac were kind of shitty.
Well, that one guy in particular.
Wait, what did the one guy in particular do?
Well, you know the one guy that was like really like sexually abusive to the lady, and then
Stephen Nick. I'm not super familiar on my Fleetwood Mac lore.
But-
I mean,
but-
all I know is a lot of shit happened, and it was a lot bad.
Yeah. I tried not to listen to a lot of Fleetwood Mac because my father loved Fleetwood Mac, so that meant I automatically hated it because he's an alcoholic, drug-addled, raging narcissist asshole. And also, I just don't like the sound of Stevie Nicks' voice. It's too nasally for me to enjoy.
I love her.
And that's fine.
John literally
I'm not saying
bought
it's bad.
I
a
literally
Fleetwood
bought
Mac.
it on
vinyl record.
I know, I saw
Vinyl.
you. I was there when you showed everybody.
Is that your record player?
It's mine now.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yours now. Did someone else previously on that?
I plead
Yeah, I
the
fucks
fifth.
with some Fleetwood Mac, though.
I kid, it's just my dad's.
I just got into the shop on Saturday. Back in the late 70s and early 80s, they did like it was all, like the older version of books on tape, where they would give you a comic book that was inside a record player sleeve, and it came with a record that read you the book.
yeah.
Oh, Teddy Ruxpin.
Sort of, yeah. But I got a bunch of those, like Superman, Wonder Woman, Star Trek.
You know what?
Cool.
Put the record up Superman's ass.
You know, big brain idea. We put podcasts on vinyl.
Okay. I like the way this man thinks.
TM.
You see, you
Like,
know,
what pa-
streaming the most convenient way to listen to this thing.
No, fuck
Let's
that.
say fuck that. We're going to just put it on this like slab of wax.
I mean, like,
this archaic slab of wax.
But you're doing it because like you appreciate the value of this archaic system. It's for the aesthetic. It's for a simpler time, and we're going to release this episode to you, our listeners. On a 35 disc set.
None
my
of that
God.
is accurate.
That's
Not
like-
a
that's
word of
For 39 payments of $39,999.
what's the fucking Patreon tier for that shit? You pick your favorite episode, and we'll put it on a vinyl record for you.
No, like we'll put a tier up, like a $5,000 tier. They pick their favorite episode, and we'll come quote it to them.
We just come recite the fucking episode word for word.
Better yet, you
They're
pay
out.
us $5,000. We just show up at your house and record.
Yeah, we'll watch a movie with you. It'll be great.
Haven't we been documented?
Yeah, we
saying
made that
we
bit
will
before.
come to your house, watch a movie, eat your food, shit on your floor, and leave.
Okay, but-
and then you have to pay us money for it.
See that the first time we woefully
Pretty sure that's been
we
said.
woefully undersold ourselves. That first time it was the $100 here.
No, for $5,000, we'll do most of whatever you want.
$5,000 jumping up,
Like,
baby.
don't underestimate how far I'll go for money.
Ooh.
Oh, that's gimmick infringement, Jonathan.
It's like
This
duel,
isn't WWE.
like Duel of the Fates over here. It's just like like we crack open something like a beam of light comes out over.
All right.
Can't call it a lightsaber because we'll
We
get
haven't even
sued.
done introductions.
We can
yet,
call it a
have we?
saber of light. Would that be okay?
A beam sword.
A laser sword.
We can't call it a laser sword. They said it in that one movie.
A spectrum saber.
Well, this is awkward silence.
yeah,
Cricket,
we should
cricket.
probably.
Oh, no, that's staying.
Yeah.
No,
no, I'm not
we had a
saying. I
cricket in
know
here
we
the
don't
other day.
edit around here.
Not
We
generally.
don't edit shit around here.
We should make a shirt of that. We don't edit, but then edit is in a different font.
Yes.
Pasted over the original.
In quotes too.
I would have put that on the list. Yes, no, we need to do introductions.
Yes.
That's a thing we need to do. As we said, this is Caging Greatness. You've
Welcome
been listening
back.
for 10 minutes now. And nothing of value has been said.
Strangely enough, that's not the longest we've gone before we actually got on topic.
Right. The last one was about an hour and a half when we did Racing Arizona.
The rawest 10 minutes you'll ever hear.
Oh, God. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Anywho.
You want us to do that episode over for $5,000? We will do scene by scene, in depth review.
We will reshoot the Raising Arizona episode.
We'll
Actually
also
talk
do a
about-
commentary.
We'll actually talk about the movie. Oh, God.
It's like somebody wants us to come to their house and recite the Raising Arizona episode where we don't talk about Raising Arizona. I mean, we do for about, 20 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
there's
that's
about-
being generous.
No, there was about 20 minutes in there. We did talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, as always, here with me, my estimable co-hosts. Recently, something. I don't have a bit for this. To my right, as always.
It's Jonathan, and people always ask me how I get these abs and these ripped ass muscles, and I tell them one thing and one thing only, and that is bang dudes.
Oh, God.
This episode's going to be great. Best episode ever.
okay,
We haven't even finished the intros yet.
Apparently, my bit is just quoting TikToks.
I mean, that's
I mean,
most
hey.
of TikTok's bit.
I am the youngest.
And, of course, to Jonathan's right.
But Chowder, this boy pussy is requesting my royalty to Rome. Also, it's fat.
I know what that is. I get that reference.
This is what happens when we take a week off.
You know, I almost thought about it.
miss us?
I almost thought about this. What we just
We missed
put
all
one
of
in
you.
the can just to get all the energy out.
We thought about it. We were just like, is there a way that we can just throw an episode on the Captain Shimmy Cloud somehow? We know we couldn't, but that'd be funny if we somehow Batman the fucking episode onto your shit. Anyway, I don't have a bit and I'm canon. I'm here and I've already opened my beer. Don't worry. You'll probably hear me crack open a few more.
I mean, you brought a cooler with you.
I did. To be fair, I brought a cooler the
be
last few
fair.
times.
Pretty
Yeah.
fair.
I come ready. It even has ice in it this time,
Allegedly.
motherfucker.
Allegedly.
I mean business today.
That's true. Because, I took some notes, and I think you took some notes, because for three of us, this is our second time seeing the film.
Yes.
And for Jonathan, it's the first time seeing the film.
It's actually
And
their
this-
fourth time.
What?
Fourth time.
Fourth?
Fourth
Seventh?
time.
It was all a ruse.
Oh, lied. I've been lied to.
No, it was the first
No,
time.
that's
So now I've been lied to.
Yeah.
No, actually,
yeah. Now you've been lied
Yeah.
to.
I didn't miss this
Not
bit.
even-
it's really their negative time watching it because they just deleted their memory.
Anyway, the movie.
Well, what is it? What is Mom and Dad?
Yes, that's the movie. That's the movie we're watching.
Yeah.
We watched Mom and Dad, starring Nicolas Cage, obviously, Selma Blair, a couple of kids nobody cares about, and also Lance Henriksen was in there.
Was he the teacher?
He was the dad, the Nicolas Cage
The
dad.
grandfather.
Oh, that guy who shows up at 2/3 of the way in the movie and then just eats shit.
I would say 5/6 to the way to the movie.
Yeah, he showed up with 15 minutes left. So, Mom and Dad, that's the movie that we watched. So, as we usually do, and by usually I mean occasionally, as we sometimes do, the general idea behind it, we're going to go around. We're going to. Oh, God. Oh, I'm so sorry. Jonathan ordered Taco Casa.
And Belch.
Oh, God. For Jonathan ordered Taco Casa for dinner, and they fucked up his order completely. And so he was going to throw it away, and I can't let food get thrown away. So it was nachos and 2 extra hot tacos, and I don't even like mild tacos that much. So I am going to be in trouble very shortly, but I have Tums, so please excuse any, oh God, burps.
Wait, you had the extra spice.
Is the extra spice.
Oh,
It
no.
was the extra spice.
I'm going to have fiery poos.
Captain Shimmy doesn't do spice very well.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
So we're going to go around. We're going to give our ratings, briefly to describe what we thought of the film, and then we'll talk about the film, as that's the thing that we do here on Cajun Greatness.
Cajun Greatness 2.0.
Yes.
All killer, no filler.
Well, after this last week, I'd say there was a brief update in the middle, so we're like at 2.7, I think. Maybe 2.72.
Yeah, see, it's this thing where you don't update an app for a while, so it just has like several that sort of just built up.
Well, that's what this first 15 minutes is. All the listeners are downloading the new update of us getting into the movie. And we're just trying to keep you entertained. So, Jonathan, what with you being the mom and dad virgin and all, which is a weird sentence, but I like it.
I do not like anything about what just came out of your mouth,
And
good
canceled
sir.
immediately.
I enjoy it. It was a good sentence.
But much like that sentence, this movie made me feel dirty, and not in like a sexy way. No, like Girls Gone Wild commercials at 3:00 in the morning on Comedy Central.
Are we
Either that or Juiced. Take your pick.
I'm about to say, are we back to like First Crush stuff?
Oh, so what was your rating?
2.
Did not enjoy the film.
It felt long as shit. It was like a personal hell. I was like, I'm sorry. I hate to be the Debbie Downer, but I did not like this movie. I feel gross. I just took a shower and I feel like I need another one.
Woo, girl.
Whoo, boy.
Oh, my God.
All right.
She said, no, ma'am.
Pat.
Well, this is my second time watching it because we watched it about 3 years ago at Shimmy's birthday party.
Yeah.
He gathered a bunch of us together and subjected us to our first viewing of Mom and Dad. And I would say then I was much in Jonathan's position. I was just sort of bewildered at the debacle of what I had just seen. Although going back around the second time, I think the butt fuck craziness of it was like more entertaining now that I knew what the hell was happening. So I enjoyed myself more. I give it 3 stars.
And like the thing is like the reason I give it the 2 is because the batshit craziness bumps it up. Because otherwise,
I feel like you should wait to defend yourself until all of us have said your rating is stupid. So let's go to Cannon.
well, fuck you too.
Oh,
I'm
man.
gonna cry.
No.
I'm gonna cry.
I'd rather you didn't.
Pay $7 on Patreon. You'll get
Shim, look what you did. God damn.
you'll get a 30-minute feed of Jonathan's tears.
You might hear me shit. I might flush the toilet.
At the
Who
100
knows?
At the $100 tier, we'll start making fun of him even more. For $200 tier, we'll give him a hammer. For $300, we'll even let him swing it at us. For
hold on,
$400,
Wait, I didn't agree to any of this.
Okay. This kind of
By us.
escalated quickly.
I mean, you
like
guys.
this movie.
No.
yeah,
Nope.
we got to figure out the
Everything
shit
you
for the
just said,
Patreon.
you alone agreed to. No. We
no,
didn't.
it was in the contract you all signed.
We didn't
I
sign
don't know.
shit.
Is there a weird like static buzzing coming through Shimmy's earpiece?
No, not the static. You know what that does? Well, none of us are parents. So I
Yeah,
guess
but
we're
say
good.
none of us have children, as far as I'm aware.
And I do not plan to. Fuck kids.
Same.
That we're aware of.
Same. No children. Cannon.
Yes. 3 years ago, we watched this film.
Yeah, we did.
and
3 years hence.
I was there.
3 years in. We were all there. We had some delightful macaroni and cheese.
Yes,
Four
this is
score and
good
30
mac and
years
cheese.
ago.
Poor Jonathan was stuck somewhere else in a much more unpleasant situation, which he's escaped. So yay!
Yay!
I'll drink to that shit. But I remember feeling the exact same way. Not enjoying this movie much at all in my first viewing. However, after seeing it again, I have come to appreciate it a bit more. If I were using Letterboxd back then, I would have given it a 2. Today, as I live and breathe, I'm giving Mom and Dad a fucking 4.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I've been won over on the Mom and Dad. It is ridiculous. It's like fucking like Dawn of the Dead, but the zombies are fucking your parents. The zombies aren't fucking your parents,
about to say,
but they
like,
are.
That's a different movie.
That's a different film
That's the
altogether.
$800 tier on the page.
You see, because there's a video game called Zombies Ate My Neighbor's a Zombie Ate My Parent, but then there's like a sequel that you don't hear about on like the dark web where zombies fuck my parents.
I'm pretty sure that was a Newgrounds game for a while.
I bet. I remember Newgrounds.
Sounds like
They're still around.
I'm sure they are.
So as for me, when I watched it the first time, much like you guys, actually, I didn't like it as much as I had hoped that I would.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I appreciated how crazy it was.
Yeah.
But I felt like it could have used more crazy at the time. I didn't like the pacing, but even then, I enjoyed the movie. I gave it 3.5 then. Mm-hmm. But on my second viewing, because this is my second viewing,
Yep.
I liked it a lot more.
Yep.
So I got to go with 4 stars.
Yeah, 4-star game.
So, Jonathan, we do understand what you mean.
Yes,
We really do.
Yeah, completely.
We used to be you.
I feel like if you give it a few months, going back in, knowing generally what the movie's about, it'll help. Because I rewatched it tonight. I couldn't fucking tell you how it ended. I'd forgotten a lot of the shit that happened. Because it's been 3 years. I hadn't seen it since. You know, a lot's happened, what with the state of the world and shit. So, yeah, a lot of it was new to me, but I enjoyed it even more.
Yeah, it's almost as if there's another weird disease that sort of caused a lot of people to go crazy.
It's
Yeah.
like we'll I know we'll get to it, but like I remember when I watched it the first time, not enjoying the ending that much, but again, watching it again, it made a lot more sense, and I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah,
Fucking loved it. How they
I
paid
didn't
that
enjoy
one
the
off.
ending the first time.
Yeah,
but
same.
this time it was so much better.
I know it like just fucking clicked this time for some reason.
Well, it's because I think for me the first time is I was taking it too much at face value. I was taking it too seriously.
Yeah,
For a movie like this, the idea of taking it too seriously is ridiculous
Yeah.
now. But seeing it just as this the writer-director, whose name I forgot, but this one dude, his vision of something fucking insane, I am here for it. I appreciate it a lot.
it's Brian Taylor was
Thank
the
you,
writer
guys.
and director, I believe. Yeah,
Okay, so like,
Who did such luminaries as
As
let's
Crank,
that
Crank
makes
2,
oh god,
Gamer, and Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance.
oh,
wait,
sorry, we'll watch
Gamer,
that one.
like that movie with fucking Gerard Butler.
Yes,
that's
yeah.
the one. I liked the first Crank.
I didn't like any of those movies.
I liked the first one. I thought it was funny. I didn't like any of the other things you said.
I feel like the Crank. I mean, I haven't seen the second one on account of I fucking hated the first one.
It's worse.
But yeah, I didn't like them.
It's been a long time since I've seen the Cranks. I used to
I
play
feel
on.
like even if I watch those again, it's going to be the same result.
Yeah, almost certainly.
So
I am excited for this October when we watch the Ghost Riders.
yeah,
our first double feature.
That's right, with of course special guest Postman Frank.
yeah.
The probably one of the few other just solid Ghost Rider fans we know.
Yeah.
Which Ghost Rider is an underrated character,
Yeah, very much so. Very
and
much so.
and his recent Marvel book was unduly canceled.
Yeah, no, it was. But then they're about to start some new Ghost Rider stuff back.
Hopefully so.
You know, should be good. So this movie opens with a woman and her baby in an SUV. She gets out of the SUV without the baby, walks away as a train's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that baby died.
Opening shot of the film.
They showed it in the news later on. That baby dead, and that's how the movie starts. So
They go straight to opening credits, right?
Yeah,
Right.
straight to opening credits.
And the thing, and this is already so the opening credits are kind of like this, like 60s, like Austin Powers type thing.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can.
No, I was
describe-
gonna say
Yeah.
I put in my notes. It's like almost like James Bond-esque
Yeah,
intro.
and there's a lot of like creative choices where I'm like, that is definitely a choice.
Yeah.
I just
There's a lot of choices.
there's a lot of choices in this movie, but like something like this, I'm like, okay, like what? Why?
I do feel like with a lot of the film, there's like if it was meaning to be a more like grounded film, like if they sort of just reshuffled some of the pieces and like probably put it in a more chronological fashion, it would be like a more sensible like film if you're going from like a traditional directive.
However, this is the same man that brought us Crank, Crank 2, Gamer, and Ghost Rider Spirits of Vengeance.
Yeah, I imagine he wasn't going for grounded drama.
In fact, he was probably told to tone it down.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb. If he also did all those movies, this is the best movie he's ever done.
Agreed.
I'll say it.
I mean,
I haven't seen any others, so I can't argue.
Again, I liked Crank. I thought it was an entertaining action movie. And I like Jason Statham.
I do like Jason Statham. Like, I might appreciate the Goofy more now. It has been a while since I've seen it, but I don't know. I'm not putting that at the top of the list anytime soon, is all I'm saying.
according to Letterboxd, Crank is his most critically acclaimed film at 3.2.
Huh. Well, according to director John Waters, who is, as I understand it, a personal hero of Jonathan's.
I don't know if I'd go that far. I just find him a very
I
fascinating
mean, we
man.
also did do an episode on AYCH about John Waters.
Personal hero, guru, like
the
your
godfather
idol,
of their non-existent children.
the person you love more than anyone else in the world.
Oh, I definitely wouldn't go that far.
You want to model your life after.
Yes.
Where's your pencil thin mustache?
Director,
I want to make my friends eat poop.
Director John
Y'all are gonna be
Waters.
eating poop. Eat poop. Do it now. Eat poop. Pee pee poo poo.
Director John Waters named this the fourth best film of 2018. I just wanted you to know that.
Well, yeah. I mean, this would be something he would like.
You know, I wonder, do you just leave us hanging? What was the rest of his list?
It's like, all I want to say is you hit me with that Spirit of Vengeance 3.2. It's a quote from I say a quote. It's from a podcast I listened to. He was quoting a show that he watches. He goes, you can't follow the opinions of people. People listen to Coldplay, and people voted for Hitler.
You know,
That's a quote.
I like Coldplay.
See what I mean?
I didn't say I like Hitler. I said I like Coldplay.
You see what I mean? You listen to Coldplay, you voted for Hitler. Confirmed.
Yeah, apparently they didn't go hand in hand.
To answer
hell.
Pat's question, here are John Waters' top 10 films of 2018.
All right.
I've heard of one of these. There's Permanent Green Light,
Don't know that one.
Let It Fall, Los Angeles, 1982 through 1992. That's by John Ridley, who I do know.
Okay.
Solars Point, Custody, The Green Fog, Blind Spotting, Mom and Dad, Nico 1998, American Animals, and Jeanette, the Childhood of Joan of Arc.
okay, the only movie out of that list I have heard of is Blind Spotting.
So yeah,
I'm
your personal hero.
Well, I mean, I can imagine, like, if I had fuck all money like he did, like, or he does, I mean, I would watch some weird ass shit, too.
Okay.
I'm sure he has like a whole like
Oh, no.
secret hidey hole that they funnel like weird movies to that us plebs and dirt folk can't have access to. Also, Brian Taylor was a writer for Jonah Hex.
Nobody's perfect, Pat.
Yeah.
That movie's garbage.
I forget that movie exists.
It's slightly
I try
more
to.
garbage than Spirit of Vengeance.
Yeah, no, I would say Spirit of Vengeance is much more watchable than Jonah Hex. Jonah Hex was like bad all around. There was nothing redeemable in that film. I don't even like calling it a film. That was a series of still frames set to music at a high rate of speed. Like, I have to break it down to the bare bones of what constitutes a projected movie in order to talk about Jonah Hex. That's how much I hate that movie.
You know, for a movie that's not that good, it's got a pretty cool cast.
Yeah, no, that's the sad thing. Like, there's a lot of good people in there, and Megan Fox, and it's just it's bad. It's just bad all around. It's not good.
God, I read an interview with her recently about her and how her and Machine Gun Kelly went to some Central or South American country and tripped on ayahuasca, and how it was just a bad time.
See, this is what happens when you listen to Joe Rogan. You just shit your brains out in the jungle for 3 hours.
Hey, bro, have you heard of elk meat?
So mom and dad.
Mom and dad.
But does he do jujitsu?
Wow.
But he had that
DMT.
fucking, like, Superman punch. He knocked that fucking teenage
Oh, that
boy out
was
with.
so great. That was
Jesus
There
Christ.
was
Such a good
another
shot.
movie I've seen where someone, like, they raised their fist, like, cracked their hand in the air and then just wallop down on somebody. I can't think of what it is, but I see that scene in my head.
Well, like the way that this one was shot is that he raises his hand and then he looks up at his hand and then there's like a stutter in the frame, and it reminded me of the fight scene in Fifth Element where Mila Jovovic's character was beating up the pig-faced
That
aliens
might be it.
during the Flava Laguna operatic piece.
There's some movie where they kind of, I don't know.
You
my,
just said a bunch of words.
and you're like, you're confusing my already hazy memory.
Because I have never seen that movie.
Really, it's really good.
I've seen, like, parts of it. I've seen Chris Tucker.
And the
Oh,
fun,
you've never seen The Fifth Element?
Yeah.
it's good. And
It's really good.
the
really
fun
good.
thing is, to tie it back to our last episode, the woman who plays the giant blue space opera singer is the woman that director Luc Besson married when she was 15. Yeah.
All right. You remember how we talked earlier about how I was going to try to start filming TikToks for our TikTok?
Yeah.
I hit record at that moment. Like that moment right now. Like I'm recording live right now
Oh, wow.
for the
Fantastic.
world to see.
Wow.
That's good.
Yeah.
So
Good
basically,
stuff.
what I'm hearing is he pulled a Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, and that's what she said
And this
last
is where
time.
I hit stop recording.
Yeah.
So you actually-
What is happening
Are you
right
actually
now?
on the TikTok?
No, I'm just recording a video right now.
Okay. Remind me to give you the TikTok login.
Okay. I've
you
never
can-
done a TikTok before myself, so it's going to be an interesting experience.
So,
I had a few I was going to make. I had just to make room on my phone. I would stitch together some videos to put on TikTok or make a TikTok episode so I can make it one video. There was a night where we all played Resident Evil 7 drunk as fuck, and I was thinking about doing one where we test the TikTok egg science theory.
Oh, yeah, we did do that.
And that's
the
what
the
that's-
one where somebody's built different.
Yep.
No, the one where you put the egg between your hands, but your fingies can't touch.
Oh,
and
okay.
and you can't break it.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, there's a couple of TikTok egg sciences.
That's fair. I mean, yeah,
There's the hand one, and then we put it in your bicep.
I gotcha.
Built different.
And you know what helps with built different? That dude who just got the shit wrecked out of him. Punched, stabbed in the face with a clothing hanger,
God.
and
The
then
boyfriend
bounced
from-
off
Oh, God.
two
Yeah.
railings.
Yeah, that was
Like after the Superman punch, I was like, okay, he's probably dead.
yeah. Well, he
But
spurted
then-
blood
then-
from his mouth.
Yeah, and then he gets back up,
Like
and
6
then
hours
the
later.
mom literally knocks him off the railing, and he hits every shit on the way down,
He gets jabbed through the face with a clothes hanger. Mm-hmm. And
like
then,
through the cheek.
Yeah, then thrown off of the railing and just bounces and shit. Like that was
Yeah, like
one of
his
the-
head hits that chair. Like his neck should have been snapped.
That was one of the worst beatings I've seen in a horror movie that was taken by somebody not the main villain.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just got his shit kicked in repeatedly.
Yeah, and he was.
And sometimes I wonder. I was thinking, is there like a certain level of just like, let me sit and think about the the implications of a teenage black man being just like brutalized over the course of a movie.
And this wasn't the same movie where the housekeeper was Chinese and neither one of the parents knew that and like got upset. You remember because the kid was talking about the granddad played by Lance Henriksen talking about what he did to Charlie back in Nam.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He's like, "I'm Chinese, you bastards." So like it's I don't know, not a lot of great racism in the movie that I just noticed.
I think that's that's definitely part of the reason why this movie feels like gross to me. Because like I was like, man, this kid's getting his shit wrecked,
and he's like the only prominent person of color in the film.
Mm-hmm. He has to kill his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, his dad kills himself.
Yeah.
His dad tripped and fell on his own shears.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had like his father was going to kill him with a broken bottle. Then he tripped over the table and went right in the
because
neck.
the single black father was, of course, an alcoholic.
Yeah, because that's just God.
Yeah.
See now y'all are talking me down. Like by the end of this, I'm going to be giving this thing like a half star.
But in terms of the housekeeper, it was supposed to be that because you don't want to empathize with the parents who are about to start murdering their children.
I don't know. I think that would be pretty interesting. You just like have like
murdering your children.
Not that part, but just have these like pretty like not ideal, but just like decent parents, and then they just become ravenous. Fucking Nick Cage's character is just a psycho. Like I don't know when the virus starts and when it ends.
I do appreciate
because there are multiple flashbacks of him just and him in the present just being a cunt.
Like he's unhinged from the word go.
Yeah.
And then the difference is he hears a little buzz in his ears like, oh, time to kill the kids.
Here I go killing again.
Like
can't stop killing.
The scene from it was in the trailers where he's destroying the pool table with a sledgehammer while screaming the hokey pokey. That's my favorite thing because that was the scene that they put in the trailers to show that he's going to be crazy in the movie. It is probably the craziest Nick Cage scene in the movie, and that's set 3 weeks before anything goes down. That's just normal Nick Cage dude losing his fucking mind.
I love how they just let him off the goddamn chain in this movie because he is
he is unhinged.
And I love how when he's in the throes of the madness, the infanticide madness or whatever you want to call the actual killing of children, is that when like after he beats up his teenage daughter's boyfriend, he starts chasing his kids around like full force so hard he's just wrecking like 90 miles per hour into shit. It's a wall, then tumbles over a toy, and it's like crashes through like all the furniture. And just like Jesus Christ, they took the stuntman and just yeeted him out of a cannon through the fucking kitchen.
It was pretty great.
Yeah.
Nick Cage is definitely the best part of this movie.
That's what all the reviewers said.
Like unhinged Cage is fucking great.
Yeah, because the movie got like a 76 out of 100 on Metacritic, so like it was well received.
Yeah, it's just weird because again, I didn't really enjoy this movie the first time I saw it, but again, I had a blast watching it a second time. And so like at the very beginning of the movie, like I think it was Selma Blair's the mom. She said something like who under 30 goes to the movies anymore? And I was just like, man, I went to the goddamn movies like every weekend when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Like all the time.
Yeah.
Granted, that was about one of the only things to do in town at the time, but still.
Yeah.
Also, everyone in this movie is just obscenely wealthy.
There are a lot of big houses in this.
Yeah, like
movie.
when the daughter is going to her friend's house, it's a goddamn like. Yeah. You thought that the main family's house was like nice and ritzy. It's like no, her friend's house is like a fucking Beverly Hills mansion.
Yeah, it is. It is very flashy.
And also for some strange reason, like I kept feeling just how the movie's shot and how like certain things look in the film. It feels like it was in England. Something feels British about this movie.
You know what else is in England? Quick brief aside. Those two sister Cage podcasts that we've talked about on Twitter.
Oh, Lord.
Hell yeah. A shout out to Petros at the Caged In Coppola?
Coppola
Connections. God damn it. Yeah, I'm already butchering the name of your show, bud. Sorry. I listened to the Willy's Wonderland episode, and It's good shit. He actually has people that have worked on some of these movies on his show.
And the other podcast, of course, is Cage Rage.
Yep.
And you know, we looked at you guys, and you seem pretty cool.
Yeah.
You like Nicolas Cage. You don't seem like you're big fans of Boris Johnson. That's enough for us.
Hell yeah.
Cheers.
Our DMs are always open.
Yeah. Provided you're actually listening.
No,
If you-
no, I believe they are.
I would hope so.
Because like you saw a little back and forth we had the other day.
Yeah, no, there was a back and forth on the Twitter.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Isn't technology wonderful sometimes?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
The
a good time.
AL meeting up with the UK. Can you believe it?
That's right.
Man, one of the few times where Twitter is not an absolute hellscape.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's as long as you just narrow your focus, it's not so bad.
That is true. I've definitely cleared out a lot of my Twitter shit, and it is a lot happier.
Yeah, no, I only follow wrestlers and comic people, and it's pretty great.
Yeah, because wrestlers and comic people are always known for being like very, level-headed, well-rounded, and having great politics.
I only follow the good wrestlers and comic people. Like, there are a few that I do not follow. Like, anyone associated with Comicsgate. Most of the people from WW, especially Nia Jax and Sasha Banks, who are both vehement anti-vaxxers.
Oh, Nia Jackson anti-vaxxer now.
Oh, she's been hardcore. Like,
Oh,
she
wow.
was open about that shit.
Oh, I didn't know that. I knew the recently unmasked Sasha Banks.
Is it too late to rename the show the Problematic Pod? With your host, us, where we talk about shitheads all the fucking time.
I mean, to be fair, we're talking about Hollywood and pro wrestling. There's not going to be a lot of stuff we can watch that isn't going to have at least one shit.
yeah, I know, but I'm going to have to start looking up some fucking like heartwarming stories here soon because god damn it, I'm tired of hearing about all these fucking just shit asses. Let's talk about some good people.
Did you hear about the allegations against Keanu Reeves? Several women came
None.
forward and said that he took them on a very nice date and was very respectful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Because Keanu Reeves is a saint.
He seems like a really awesome dude.
As they say in the biz, so far so good.
So no, like Keanu Reeves is good in Hollywood. There's some of the wrestlers we got, like a lot of the Young Bucks are good Christian boys.
Christian AF.
There's
actually.
always
Christian as
Gentleman
fuck.
Jervis, big fan of Jervis, love that guy.
And now that he was cleared of his little snafu that happened.
Some
a while
little
back.
shithead stole his identity and started texting his dick to people.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
That's not good.
No, it's terrible.
Oh man, you remember that time Dr. Oz showed up in this movie?
Yeah, Dr.
Oh
Oz
my
is
fucking
Speaking of
God.
shitheads,
See, like I said, like this. I swear to God, like this legit at times feels like the remake of Dawn of the Dead to me. Like I feel like a lot of it was shot in the same neighborhood at some point.
It honestly, like a lot of like the visual style is ripped from Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
And not in like, and I'm not saying that as a pejorative.
Oh no, I fucking like love that movie.
see, I felt like a lot of Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead visuals were taken from 28 Days Later.
Well, yeah. That's
I mean, it's like 28 Days Later was sort of like a rebranding of modern zombieism.
Yeah.
For better or for worse, depending on who you talk to.
I mean, I like 28 Days Later.
Still waiting for 28 months later. God damn it.
At this point, it can be 28
Not.
years later.
Wait,
28 decades
Didn't 28 months later come out?
No. It was just like days and weeks.
Oh, weeks, right. Okay, I knew
Yeah.
there was a sequel that I didn't see.
And then
because
there
I
was
didn't
that
care.
other movie that for some reason as a kid I got confused with these, which was, what was it, 30 Days of Night?
Oh, yeah, that's based on a comic book.
Yeah, that's about vampires.
Yeah.
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 I was like, oh, is that the vampire one or the zombie one?
Now, the first one is pretty solid. The second one is dog shit.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, that movie's not bad.
And the first volume of the book is pretty good.
Yeah,
and
I
everything
read that
after that
too.
is awful.
Actually, that's the first time in a lot of accounts that I was able to read the book before I saw the movie on that one.
There you go.
Yeah, looky there.
So Dr. Oz is in this movie. And that's how we feel.
Yeah. A pillar of reason and science.
For sure.
Because like
puked on the mic.
Because they brought him in to be like, because the concept of the movie is there's this virus going around where it makes parents kill their kids. So it's kind of absurd concept, but we need some like medical professional to make this legitimate. Let's get fucking Dr. Goddamn Oz. It was like, man, if y'all couldn't get him, who would y'all get? Ben Carson?
Like, man, I think, like, what was Dr. Oz doing when they were making Face Off? I feel like he should have shown up in at least a cameo at some point. The science here is just outrageous.
He's actually going to be in the remake.
Yeah.
He's the one that takes the face off.
I mean, hell, why not?
I did like the irony of Dr. Oz talking about a virus and actually saying correct things, as opposed to the last time he did that.
Well, I know that there was someone that had actually charted this. There was a point when he started the show, about 25% of what he said was bunk. Until, over the last 10 years, and now it's reversed. 75% of what he talks about is utter horseshit.
Yeah. And when that virus that we don't talk about,
was he one of those deniers?
Not necessarily denier, but he definitely spread a shitload of misinformation there in the beginning.
Because it's almost as if turning something like concrete and factual, like medical and science, into a daily hour-long show for sedentary house people isn't exactly a great standing point.
Well, there's a Norm Macdonald bit where he talks about the news and how back when he was young, you had the half hour of news a day, and then that was the news. And then you'd wait till the next day, and then you'd get more news. And now there's 24 hours of news, and it turns out there's really only about a half hour of news every day.
Yeah.
And it should just stayed with that. And it's very similar. Like, you don't need an hour-long show on medicine shit.
Yeah.
Because not that much happens.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not like there's every other day. It's like, oh, did you know that if you press this point on your palm, you'll grow a third arm? That shit doesn't happen.
It's like, use this pomegranate juice enema, and it will give you 20 years on your life.
I'm pressing so hard, nothing's happening. Fuck you for lying to me.
I heard it from Dr. Oz.
Fuck you, Dr. Oz.
At least it wasn't Dr. Phil.
Yeah. That would have been much, much worse.
Aren't they all under the same umbrella anyway?
More or less, yeah. I
feel like
Oprah.
trying to tell who's the worst of the two is kind of like picking a lighter shade of dark, like black.
Well, there's Hitler.
A lighter shade of brown.
Or there's Stalin. Hitler, they're both bad.
Hitler's come up a lot in this episode. I don't think I like it.
Well, you did the first one, to be fair.
And you said his name like 4 times in a row now.
Yeah, that means he's going to show up in your bedroom when you sleep.
Super canceled.
He's not the Candy Man.
I'm not about to find out.
I don't know.
I mean, Hitler was a bitch. I'd fucking fight him.
A hot take.
I know, right? The hottest of takes.
Here at Cajun Greatness, we do not approve of the actions of Adolf Hitler.
Well, granted, nowadays, you fucking have to distinguish that.
That is sad,
because
yeah.
there are, legit Nazis.
Yeah, can we go back to 30 years ago or so when it was generally accepted that Nazis were bad? That was nice. I liked that. Anyway, that's a good time to take
Bring
a
it
break.
back to the movie.
We're going to take a break. It's about time for our intermission. As always, I have no idea what's going to come up as soon as we're done talking here. I've got to work that out. We'll figure out something. It'll probably be fun. It might be terrible. But we'll be right back.
Farts.
Thank you for listening to Cajun Greatness. If you enjoy what you're hearing, stay tuned for the second half of tonight's show. And if you'd like to follow us on social media, we're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And if you want to support the show financially, find our merch store at tpublic.com/user/Cajun Greatness. Or just send us money. We appreciate money. Enjoy the rest of the show and never let anyone cage your greatness.
This is how you remind me of what I really am. This is how you remind me of what I really am.
Thank you for enjoying that intermission.
As soon as I heard the click, I knew it was fine.
God damn.
You're fucking welcome, world. I don't know what else we're doing.
We sound better than Chad Kroger. I believe that.
That's
It's
not hard to
Kruger.
do.
Why is
like,
it Kruger?
Like I
It's
was
spelled
listening.
Kroger. From around these parts, it's Kroger,
Yeah,
man.
no, that's Kroger, bro. That's what that says. That's Kroger.
Like I was listening to Santana the other day, and he did that song with Canadian dipshit, right? And I'm like, this is a good song. And then fucking Chad Kroger comes in, and it's just like, and it just ruins everything.
Should have stuck with Rob Thomas.
I was about to say, like, they recorded 2 versions of that song.
But
The-
the Chad Kroger one got the most play.
Yeah, the other one was like the lead singer of that band, The Calling.
What the fuck did they do?
If I could, then I would. I'd go wherever you will go. Well high or down low. Welcome back to the One Hit Wonder podcast, everybody.
Welcome to fucking 90s and early 2000s week.
I mean, a Santana spinoff is on the list of stuff.
Wait, really?
That wheel has
That
so
ori-
much dust on it right now. It's redonk.
Yes, the Caging Greatness Wheel definitely doesn't belong to any other podcast.
No, it surely doesn't.
We've never rigged the spin.
Oh, shit. The fucking card fell off.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. It's
Yeah,
still
It's
there.
right there.
But I can see AYCH.
No, no,
Also,
you
I
can't.
see a penis.
What?
That reminds me of the quote from this movie that I love, and it was the teenage girl standing in the bathroom, like trading money for drugs and shit, right? And the one who gets choked out by her rich Beverly Hills type mom says, "My mom is such a penis," and she says it legitimately. And I don't know how to feel about that because I used to work in a school, right? And I've talked to teenagers before, and I've seen teenage shows because Disney Channel. I like Hercules, and I've never ever once heard anyone, teenage or otherwise, say, "Oh, you're being such a penis." That's stupid.
However, I'm about to start calling everybody penis. Like,
Man.
that is dunzos. And,
Man, my boss is such a penis.
like, I'm going to get sent home for a week because I'm going to call everybody a penis at work.
I feel
God.
like
Cannon, you can't call everybody a penis. Fucking watch me.
I feel like you've got an HR meeting in your future.
I don't think they know what those 2 letters mean.
That's fair. It stands for How Ridiculous, that Australian YouTube show with the guys drop stuff on trampolines. I like that show. Those guys seem fun.
Yep.
I suppose.
So we're talking about mom and daddy.
Are we, though?
Well, I mean, kind of.
Welcome to Raising Arizona, Part 2.
Yeah.
But bringing up that quote, like there are a lot of really choice quotes that I can't remember, but I remember getting a chuckle out of.
The dialogue in this movie was pretty fantastic.
It was.
And Pat, I'll have you know that the first half of the episode so far, we're at least 50% about the movie. We talked about the movie a lot.
Yeah, for like the 5 minutes that
See, we
we've been
downloaded
recording.
an app that actually tabulates how much we actually talk about the movie we watched.
That would be a pretty cool bit. Like
That would be.
the AI required.
Yeah, I'd be very concerned because that's how Skynet is formed, and then we've destroyed all of life on Earth, and it's up to Christian Bale to save us in a terrible, terrible film. Blah.
Kenny Omega doesn't do that anymore. That's upsetting.
Yeah, that's kind of a bummer. I always liked the Terminator shit that he.
Or
did.
maybe
It was
they're
fun.
just like, hey, you're on TV now. You can't be doing that shit.
I mean, it's just a,
Y'all could wear like legit like Joker face paint, but you can't fucking tap on
God.
the mat in that fucking pattern, please.
Okay, side tangent. I hate Joker Penta. It does not look.
Do you know how much money Pentagon Jr. spent on that Joker outfit? He's gonna keep wearing it.
I mean,
Listeners,
I can imagine. I'm just saying it might have been a mistake.
listeners, we are currently discussing Luchador and AEW star Penta El Cielo Miedo, formerly known as Pentagon Jr. He recently debuted new gear inspired by the DC Comics villain, the Joker. And opinions are, as you can tell, quite mixed.
I don't hate it.
Needless to say, it makes me want to have a fucking Joker moment.
I mean, do it? I mean,
God, I'm being such a hater.
he
I
has.
don't mean to be.
He has like.
Drink all that
I will
Haterade.
say he does have a lot of different gear variants. I mean, he did rock the Venom gear for a while.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
like
the
that
Venom
movie.
gear looked really sick though.
Yeah, the Joker gear's not bad. I don't hate it.
I'm not a fan.
Jonathan over there having hater tots for dinner.
Hey,
That's the first one I've heard That's the first time I've heard that.
Well, actually, I took that from our dear friend and someone who told us he was going to listen to the podcast, J.R. Mounts, who is a comic artist and writer out of Atlanta. He was just at the shop for a special event, and we're hopeful that he will be a guest on the podcast come October.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah,
hell
we talked
yeah.
about it, and we're going to see if he can join us because he's going to be at the Alabama Comic-Con.
October 9th through the 10th.
That's the one. So we're going to see if he's got to set up by Friday. So his current plan, if everything holds up, he's going to come in, set up at the con, and then just drive here and do the podcast with us.
That sounds really cool.
Can you believe it? A qualified creative professional will be on this show.
Oh, that's crazy.
And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to drive up there and meet Sting. He's gonna be there.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sting's gonna be there?
Sting's
At
gonna be
Alabama
there.
Comic-Con.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, I was mispronouncing it.
Like I have, you remember that WCW comic book that has Sting and Cactus Jack on the cover?
Yeah.
Mick Foley has already signed it.
We should
If
go
I
up
got
there and meet Sting, bro.
Sting to sign it as well.
Oh, that'd be sick.
That'd be pretty sweet.
That'd be fucking rad.
Well, the con's Saturday and Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
I guess I have
Yeah,
no
it's
idea.
Saturday and Sunday.
If he's there Sunday, we should fucking go.
Yeah, I just
I'll
know
go.
it's in October. So
If he's there that Sunday, let's fucking go.
Which
Where is it?
At
Birmingham.
BJCC
Oh fuck.
in Birmingham, Alabama.
wait, what days again?
October.
I love how we're doing an ad for this comic book convention.
Not a sponsor.
We can go up there and just drop our cards around. That'll be
No,
great.
yeah, see, we actually have just a gorilla panel at Alabama Comic Con where we just like run in there with a table and a chair and rant and rave about Nicolas Cage till they throw us out.
It's like, what are y'all doing? It's like, oh, no, nowhere.
John Barrowman's going to be there.
Oh, well, okay, from Doctor Who.
Yeah. Huh. Fair
Very
enough.
famously gay icon, John Barrowman.
Yes. And then Sting. Unfortunately, he will only be there on Saturday. Yeah. So if you want to go see Sting, you have to go there Saturday.
And what's that date again?
That'll be October 9th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Saturday, October 9th, people. Get your tickets now.
I'm
That's
trying to
right.
remember when we're going to go see Mark Ribier.
That's
on Tuesday.
Tuesday, October 12th.
Oh, Flamingo Day is upon us.
Yeah. And then
God, it's gonna be fun.
the following Tuesday is the Earth, Wind, and Fire concert here at the amphitheater, which I'll be going to. Super
Carlos
stoked.
Santana's also going to be at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater.
Yeah.
Bringing it full circle.
Yeah, there are a lot of big names they're bringing in. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
T-Town's got some clout now, apparently.
And in Birmingham at the end of October, finally going to see Slipknot.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be
I'm
sick as fuck.
so fucking excited. If it rains, I'm going to burn that town down.
Now, see,
That seems counterproductive because it'll be raining.
now look,
My fire, where we're going, this fire doesn't need water to be put out.
okay. See, I was going to say
Stroke.
you could just be like Psycho Clown.
I mean, fuck it. It's not like this podcast is about mom and dad anymore. Jesus. Welcome. We're back to Cajun Greatness 1.0, fuckers. I hope you enjoyed it while it lasted.
No rules here. I'm just a pink bird.
Well, Pat, you did bring up during the break that, sometimes you just have to get all this craziness out. And this is what we get for abstaining for a week
Yep.
from the podcast. So here we are. And in all honesty, like, this was a good movie to three of us and something else to a fourth. But it's also very similar in a weird way. So let me qualify my statement before you jump on me.
Okay.
It's very similar to Raising Arizona in that we can talk about the stuff that happens, but you really kind of have to just see it for yourself.
Because we haven't talked about the fact that how Nick Cage parents just eat shit.
No, like, we still like. I'm just glancing over like the opening. I mean, granted, the opening scene we literally see like
A baby get hit by a train.
yeah.
We don't see it.
You don't see it. It's
It's heavily
coming.
implied.
Anyway, like
Imply, Jonathan,
like-
or implode?
like this virus hits. There are parents literally like pretty much foaming at the mouth outside of the school, waiting for
And
the
that's the thing.
students to
We
get
keep
out.
saying
Right?
virus, though. We don't even know it's a virus. Like, it's implied that this is just nature, like the happening from M.
mean,
Night Shyamalan Ding
I
Dong.
was just gonna say, what else could you call it at this point?
I mean,
It's literally deceased.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Except without dark side.
No, there's no
Or
dark
the
side in
anti-life
this one.
equation.
wait till
or
Mom and Dad
superheroes.
too, because
Superheroes.
Dark Side's a
No,
father.
just fuck off. You know what I mean. All I'm saying is, it's like, and then like one kid like finally like jumps the gate, right? And then the mom grabs him, and then immediately starts stabbing him in the face with her car keys.
That was fucked.
And then that's when the kids are like, "Oh fuck!" And then they just book it.
Now, see, I think it's funny that they turn into this like mild version of War Z, where you see like all these like chonky middle-aged people just like tumbling in over the end over the top of a fence, and they're running out through the football field. Shit's already on fire.
Yeah.
And then you just see like parents just like fucking Goldberg spear these 13-year-olds. And God, there's a great bit of like of a cop just like beating the fuck out of a Karen. He's just like, whoa!
I told you to stay the fuck back!
Of course, we're ACAB and all that, but like seeing a cop beat up a Karen is a refreshing change of pace.
I mean, I will say, if said Karen is about to, murder their child, I think it's, somewhat justified.
Yeah, probably so.
but also coming from this, post heavy air quotes, disease world, where you see just like middle-aged people just acting like ravenous animals. It's just to see like just a second of just like recompense for those types.
Bitch, I deal with that shit every day. I had
Fucking zombie parents?
That's an interesting line of work.
Just boomers being fucking Karens.
But you have talked about your place of business being worked and people just like banging on the door, let me in.
Yeah.
Like Eric Andre.
I mean, like, I know this isn't like a zombie movie, like, at all, but let's call it what it is. It follows that formula to a T.
I mean, it's in all but name a zombie movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like starts off zombie and then it kind of pivots into slasher.
That is true.
Yeah, like it's a weird mishmash.
It's one of those things where it sounds like a really good idea when you smoked a lot, but once you start thinking about the mechanics of it, it's like, okay, how is this going to work?
Like there's a bit where Selma Blair's sister's giving birth, and she has a baby, and then like all of a sudden the static kicks on the monitor because that's how that works, and then suddenly she starts trying to squeeze the baby to death. So they wrench the newborn baby like just cut the umbilical cord, and she's just like frothing, trying to like mush the baby into goo, and then it cuts away. You see like all these these new fathers just like face pressed against the glass at the nursery.
Yeah, so
But everyone acted like nothing's wrong. It's like,
like-
what the fuck?
it's like at the beginning of the movie, they're like jumping the fucking fence, and now like they can't get through this glass to like murder these babies. And it's like, oh my God, no. It's like, stop trying to murder this baby. No, oh God, you can't take this baby. Oh shit, I gotta go kill my kids now.
well,
Yeah, and then it felt like it was building up to it built up to a climax and then just kept going.
And one thing we didn't touch on is the musical choices.
very
Because
strange music choices.
it's like I loved it though, because the scene that you just described, where the baby was almost choked by the brand new mom,
Yeah.
it was set to "It Must Have Been Love" by Roxette,
Yes.
and that was fantastic. Like I loved it. As like so many just weird, jarring juxtapositions. I thought it was great.
Like I will say, there's definitely a lot of stylistic choices and like direction that. If you sort of enjoying the wild ride of it, okay, this is kooky, it goes with it. But if you're just like on the other end, it's like you're not feeling the ride. It just feels like this is the most like haphazardly directed movie. How there's just like all this like random like cuts and like things are slowly zoomed in, sped up, and like just like this weird, just like noise music they put in. It's like it feels very like trying to mash like a triangle into a square hole.
Yeah,
like,
there are like two specific things in about this movie that still give me issues. Like again, I've already said that I've enjoyed it more this go around. But that being said, there's a couple of moments when like shit's going down, and there's a lot of sound effects going off that sound like a Transformers in the middle of changing. Like it's a fucking like dubstep song, but it's like cut into bits. Just like
oh yeah, like I was just like
it's like every third beat's cut out,
Yeah.
so it's just like
Yeah.
this really like herky jerky like EDM.
And the only other like big gripe of mine was like there was like a lot of like weird flashback sequences, and for some reason only one flashback sequence in particular got like a 3 weeks earlier like thing before it.
Yeah, it was,
And then like and there were other ones that were like obviously like years before. It was
Like,
just weird to me.
just, like, very,
weird
like-
choices.
Awkwardly positioned, like
Yeah.
like flashbacks. Like not that you can't have flashbacks, but just like the way they're put in feels very jarringly placed. Like
well, and then they go on for really fucking long. Like the one where he tears up, like where Nick Cage does the Nick Caginess and tears down the pool table. I swear to God, that scene felt like it was 15 minutes. I know it wasn't that long, but it was just like, okay.
Well, it could be that the herky jerkiness of it, the everything like the music and the flashbacks are placed the way they are to make you feel off balance. Like that could very much be a stylistic choice.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I appreciate the stylist. Like the director is taking stylistic choices. I just don't think they're good. But that is just me. Apparently, I'm the one drinking the hater.
Well, I will say I shit on the flashbacks. However, there are a couple of moments where I thought they worked. Like the one where it's a flashback to the daughter like putting on her mom's makeup. And
Yeah, that one
right?
worked.
And then like immediately comes back to like Selma Blair, who was fucking I thought was great in this movie.
Selma
She was
Blair did a
fantastic.
great job.
There's a moment in the movie like where like her son gets a gun at one point and just like shoots through the door that the parents are trying to get through, and she gets shot in the arm, and she's just like the sound she's making. I thought she was about to turn into the fucking Hulk at one point. I was just like, oh god, I'm
it's a
scared.
very like visceral noise because I think Selma Blair does like a really cool job where Nick Cage is unhinged as like at his most Cage as you would want him to be.
Yes.
And Selma Blair is able to do like have like an emotional pathos to her insane character, and then when she finally sort of tips to the other end and goes like full psycho killer, like it's like pretty harrowing too how she's able to do both. I think she did a great job too, and like it just sort of like co-pilot, to Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
And I mean, also, and as far as younger actors go, like child actors go, and I'm mainly comparing this to like per se the Scooby Gang from Willy's Wonderland. And,
yeah.
For what it was, like the kids in this movie weren't bad.
They
They weren't the worst.
Yeah, I've seen a lot worse from kid and teenage actors.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Especially the youngest boy, like he was pretty solid for like what I assume is a 7 to 10-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Like when he's like crying at the end because like mom and dad are like crazy, like beyond repair. It's like that was pretty like legitimate. Like that felt like a moment.
And he wasn't like overly annoying like a lot of the kid actors can be.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking of, for me, when you say annoying child actor,
Yeah.
for me, the first thing that pops up is the television miniseries adaptation of The Shining that Stephen King did. Had Steven Weber as Jack Torrance, and Rebecca De Mornay was Wendy. And overall, it's fucking phenomenal. As far as like an adaptation of the book goes, it can't be beat. Now, The Shining movie by Kubrick, of course, a better film, but not a great adaptation of The Shining.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other fucking podcast. Point is, I love the miniseries, but the kid who plays Danny is just so goddamn irritating. You want Jack Torrance to find him. Like, you're like 10 minutes in, you're like, can you just skip to being crazy and take a hammer to him now, please?
I do think it's funny that a lot of people have a short patience level for like children in movies, and like I don't know, maybe I'm just like I'm more patient with like movie kids. Like I remember we were talking about Colorado Space, and everybody just being like viscerally hating the kid. And like, what did he do that was so annoying?
He was a child.
How dare he
That's
be
more than enough.
just
I mean,
existing as a child?
Well,
in this universe, being a child is a bad thing.
Yeah.
You apparently eat shit and fall 2
No,
stories.
you don't even have to be a child.
No.
You just have to be born, I guess. And if your parents are still alive, you're fucked.
That was what I thought was like. That was my favorite moment watching it the first time, and one of the things I love the most, like overall, is that the whole movie. Like they say at the beginning, oh, Nicolas Cage's parents are coming for dinner, and like okay, then you just forget it because like it seems like a throwaway world building line, right?
Yeah.
And then right before they take the Sawzall, because it's
Sawzall
to the kids, doorbell rings and it's his parents. They're like, oh, okay, his parents are there. They're gonna help the kids for sure. And so Nick Cage opens the door.
But wait, before they open the door, what does the Saul's all do again?
It's Saul's all.
It's Saul's.
He keeps saying that. It's
It's a great line, and Nicolas Cage sells it like a.
So the doorbell rings. He opens the door. It's his dad, played by Lance Henriksen, who is fantastic, who immediately fucking stabs him. And it's
No, the mom sprays him with
mace,
spray.
mace, and then stab, and then mace, and then stab. It just like all of a sudden, it's a whole different ball game because now you have 3 generations trying to murder each other.
No, I do appreciate like the Benny Hill-esque moment where like the son is running away, Nicolas Cage is chasing him, and then Grandpa's chasing Nicolas Cage, and I'm just like bam, 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 and they're just tripping over shit.
But I just love it.
I will say that was a really excellent setup and payoff. Because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh yeah, they can help. Oh fuck yeah, that actually makes a lot more sense.
It's like in the middle of like belly stab. The grandson walks in and it's like, Grandpa. It's like, hey there, Skipper. And then it's just mad insanity ensues.
He goes right back to stabbing Nick Cage.
Because they set up a couple times that it's only your own children that you want to murder.
Yes.
All of it, like if you're not with them, it's like you don't care.
Yeah. So like Lance Henriksen, he did such a good job switching from I'm going to murder my son. Oh hey, it's my grandkid. How you doing there, sport? Gonna kill your dad now.
And plus, I loved how Johnson points this out when they run to the garage. This movie inadvertently had predicted Resident Evil 7.
Yeah,
because like
there's this whole bit in the garage that's like when you get in the car and you have to fight the old guy, and it's real spooky and stressful.
Maybe they stole it from this movie.
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
which came out first?
Pretty sure. It was
definitely Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, hell, if you listen to current events, a lot of people think Resident Evil 8 stole something from a movie.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
And
everything stole something from something else.
Yeah, there are no
There's
more.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Yeah, everything that has been made is going to be made.
Well, what did they steal in this one?
The Declaration of Independence.
There is some horror movie with a monster in it that kind of looks like a human body with like an airplane like engine for a head and upper body. What? And there's like spoiler, I guess, for Resident Evil 8, but it's pretty much exactly the same like creature from that movie in the game.
Huh.
But you know, it's kind of like
okay.
Fair enough.
It's just I don't know where it is or what it's called, but like that was kind of like a mild controversy. But everybody started talking about that and went back to Lady Dimitrescu's ass. Because there's more polygons in Lady Dimitrescu's ass, the 9-foot-tall vampire lady, than the entirety of the first Resident Evil game.
That's fucking hilarious.
What a world we live in.
Look how far we've come.
The teacher from, like, I've seen him in things, but like for some reason I only remember him as the dude that married Shannon Moore. Isn't that her name from American Pie?
I couldn't tell.
I got
have
nothing.
No idea. What,
Sorry, I'm alone in that department, I guess.
Another one of your times where you're just like your infallible memory for like bit character actors.
Like she was also in Jane and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Which one? Who?
Boo Boo Kitty Fuck.
Oh, Shannon Elizabeth.
Oh, I said Shannon Moore.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shannon
my
Moore's
bad.
a wrestler.
Shannon Elizabeth. Shannon Moore is
Yeah.
a wrestler.
You're getting your wires crossed there, bud.
Shannon Elizabeth. My
He's
bad.
crossing the streams.
Speaking of crossing the streams, I recently rewatched the Extreme Ghostbusters cartoon over the weekend.
How was that?
Oh yeah.
It held up pretty well.
I loved that show when I was a kid.
Like extreme.
And they made kind of like a just cool rock and roll spooky version of the Ghostbusters thing for the intro.
Ooh,
And probably
nice.
I would imagine a lot of people's first goth GF crush.
Ooh.
With that one girl in Extreme Ghostbusters. I'd be willing to bet that's where a lot of people got their first goth boner too.
I don't remember that. It's been a long time since I watched
I
that.
never saw anything
the whole
called
series on
Extreme
YouTube for free.
Ghostbusters.
I need to. Well, I stumbled across the thing I watched in childhood that I hadn't thought about in, God, it had been 20 years at least, called Eureka's Castle.
Oh fuck! That's on Paramount Plus, and that threw
Yeah.
my ass back to the
And
Stone
I
Age.
didn't even realize the guy who did that also did The Bear in the Big Blue House.
Bear in the Big Blue House. Oh my
Oh
god!
fuck. That's
Yeah.
a throwback.
Yeah.
I love the goodbye song he sang with the moon.
Uh-huh.
And the lady who did the voice of the moon did the voice of the chief and Where in the World and Where in Time is Carmen Sandiego.
Oh, that's neat.
She's also on a random episode of Roseanne.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She was the surgeon that helped Darlene. when
She was
she had her
also the
appendix.
mother in Blank Man.
She was.
Yes.
She's also the radio operator in The Warriors. She goes on credits.
Yes. Yes.
I love
oh,
Blank
oh
Man.
wait, the
Blank Man's great.
the
I wanna-
1979
I wanna watch
movie.
that.
Yeah.
Warriors. That's a good movie.
Have you two seen Blank Man?
I have not.
Damon Wayans?
No, you talked about
David
it
Allen
before.
Greer?
It's great.
That might be
It's
my
great.
birthday movie.
Yeah, you talked about that
it's
too.
great. If that's the case, then I'm super pumped.
Ugh,
Jimmy's
so
got
many
a birthday
things.
list, and so does Cannon for their movie picks.
Yeah.
Well, like you have my list.
I
You
like
are actually
making
keeping up
lists.
with my list. Like I mention them and you write them down, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's what he
Someone's got to
appreciates
keep
about
track of this shit.
you. Yeah.
I usually do, but
So the point of that is if you've never seen Blank Man, you need to go watch it because it's really good.
yes. And Meteor Man.
I enjoyed Meteor Man. You know they had a comic?
Really?
Yeah.
It was Meteor Man the one with
I-
Jeff Bridges?
No, that
No.
was fuck. Star Kid, I think? No.
Star Kid is a movie, but there's a movie where Jeff Bridges
Man, I
has,
think was Jeff Bridges.
has something to do with space.
When we went to see Black Panther at the library, and they were talking about other African American like comic book movies.
yeah.
And they brought up Meteor Man and Blank Man. I was
think
just
that's
like,
it.
holy shit. Thank you for reminding me. Thank you. I remember these and I love these movies. Mm-hmm. I fucking adore Blank Man. I can't
Oh, yeah.
wait to watch that.
They did some mental archaeology for you.
My friend Emilio got me a Blank Man T-shirt for Christmas last year. It's great.
Wow, that's quite a find.
Yeah, it was a good time. I love that movie. So good.
So good.
So good.
I got you.
Hey. So we like to have fun here.
We had the fun sometimes.
So Mom and Dad, the ending of it, again, we discussed, briefly mentioned it. It ends with the boyfriend who survived the worst beating,
Yeah.
just knocking Selma
couple
Blair
of them.
out with a shovel, and Nick Cage wrecking his car and bursting Lance Henriksen's face on the headlight like a ripe melon.
Oh, you're forgetting the best part when it like sideswipes the mom and she goes like flying like 50 feet.
and
in
she's
the
like
air.
slow mo and
Slows down, yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It was a good time.
God, my score got higher the longer this movie went on. I swear.
it's like a thermometer just like going woo.
Pretty much. Yeah.
But it ends with Selma Blair and Nicolas Cage tied up to a pole, and then the two kids and the boyfriend just repeating the conversation they had back in the beginning of the movie. Like, we want to trust you, but you make it hard, blah, blah, blah. And then they just start screaming. And it ends with Nicolas Cage saying, kids, we love you more than anything more, but sometimes we just want to. And then it goes black.
Cuts out.
It's so good.
And then they foreshadowed that in the pool wrecking scene.
Yeah, it was a good. Like I didn't like it at first, but I
Same.
like it a lot the second time around.
I think it fits.
Like I said, like I didn't. It's like I didn't even hate the movie the first time I saw it. I just really didn't like it. But
I was like, what was
I don't know.
this?
It was fucking hitting today.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's silly. I mean, it's dark, but it's also silly. You just take it for what it is, or it could be, or whatever it is to you, I suppose.
I'm sure it will mean a lot of things to a lot of people in a lot of different ways.
All things to all people.
Because as I'm sure that we come across many times on the show already, it's just like how subjective films are by nature. A lot of Nick Cage films are gonna hit people very differently.
Yeah, like
That is very true.
And coming up on our schedule, we got some interesting ones.
Oh, we got some doozies.
Well, next week on Cajun Greatness, it's actually Travolting Development.
Oh, that's right. I have to choose one. I
Yep.
still have to pick one for that.
Yep, you do. And then after that is one I'm looking forward to. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I loved it. It's a Scorsese film, Bringing Out the Dead.
I've heard that is very underrated Scorsese movie.
Very much so.
I've never seen that.
Bringing out the
I'm
bread.
excited.
Then August 12th will be Uncaged, which will spin the wheel and definitely do whatever it lands on, unless we want to do something else.
Yep. the wheel is not a rule of law.
If Destiny's Choice sucks,
It's like, you know what? Once more around the bend.
After that is Bangkok Dangerous,
Oh, fuck.
which is
interesting.
It could be one of our first bad movies since Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, no, I don't think that one's going to go over very well with any of us. Following that is right now the schedule says Wicker Man, but I need to talk to you guys. We might switch that around because we have a friend of ours who might want to guest on that, and that day will not be good for him. But we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Then after that is my birthday episode.
Oh, whoop
Gonna
whoop.
figure out what's going on there.
So Blank Man.
Very possibly.
Right now, it's a toss-up between Blank Man, Street Fighter, or Brain Donors.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't think we're going to do Brain Donors because Brain Donors is the sort of thing that I want to show you guys because it's great, but we can't really talk about it that much because it's going to be one of those things where like we talk about it, oh, this was very funny, and then we just do other shit.
I mean, how do we make
It'll be like, oh, this bit was funny. This bit was funny.
How do you make a 1 hour show about a 90-minute movie that's like just nonstop slapstick?
Yeah, it's just gags. So at this moment, I'd like to take an opportunity to tell everyone to go on Amazon or to if you have a movie gallery still open somehow. You know, that's shocking, but go
very surprising. Please let us know how that worked out.
Yeah, please tweet
It's
us.
very like regional movie renting place.
and rent Brain Donors starring John Turturro because it is fucking hilarious. And then after that is one that I'm actually kind of concerned about. It's Mandy on September 30th.
Why are you concerned about that?
Because I loved watching it the first time. And I'm worried that I'm not going to like it as much this time.
But you might like it more, like you did.
I might, but you know, it's just one of those things. Like that first hour of Mandy is pretty slow.
Yeah, that's another one. Like that's
yeah.
another one we watched at your house,
Yeah.
and that's another one I did not enjoy that much.
I love the vibe of it, but I remember that first like hour being
I mean,
kind of
I'm
slow.
gonna give it like
pretty sleepy.
4.5 stars when we talk about it.
I mean, at this point, anything can happen.
No, I remember like significant chunks of that movie. That 4.5 ain't happening.
Yeah. No, like the first hour, I loved seeing it, but it was very, very slow. And then
And
the
apparently,
second-
that's like the director's like style. Like,
yeah, that's
because his
that's
first
whole
movie,
shtick.
like Inside the Black Rainbow, it's,
Beyond the Black Rainbow,
It- it-
they say it's like very similarly paced.
yeah, it's just you just take like the actiony, like the slow parts of Mandy, and then just
That's the whole movie.
yeah, and then again, and, like just the slow parts of Mandy are the fast parts of that movie.
Yeah.
And the fast parts of Mandy are completely insane.
Oh yeah,
Like they make mom and dad look tame as hell.
like the back half of Mandy is butt fuck.
So I know I'm going to love that because I loved it the first time. I remember most of that. I'm going to love it again. but it's getting to that. I think that might lower my score this far out. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm kind of worried about that too, because like I remember really coming out of Mandy like really high, and then like the more I think about it, it's like it wasn't as good as I thought it.
and plus, like, there's a lot of like strobe effects in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
like a lot.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
tough,
very
yeah.
uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there is 30% of that movie that I really enjoy.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
But after Mandy, that's when hopefully we'll have JR as a guest, if he's able, for Vampire's Kiss.
Ooh.
I'm excited for Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah,
I've never
that's a good
seen
time.
that one.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Me either.
Yeah,
I've
no,
just
it's-
seen the memes from
Yep.
it.
It's been a really long time. 'Cause there was a period of from when I was like 10 until I was 16 or so where I just watched so many. Like I watched Citizen Kane when I was 10, and I still love it. It was a really good film. But like I just started watching really weird shit, right? And like anything that I could find at Blockbuster,
Yeah.
or Movie Gallery, I'd go rent it. I'd watch it just to watch it. And there's a lot
Just
of
grabbing shit off the shelf.
yeah, no, my parents didn't give a shit.
Just heedless of what the content may be.
Yeah, no, my parents didn't give a shit. So, I'm curious. A lot of these older movies that I saw back then that hold a special place in my heart, I'm curious to see how they go.
I might be good in your memory, but
Yeah,
maybe
because
not. In
I loved The Pest starring John Leguizamo.
that movie. Does not hold up. It shouldn't have held up back in the day.
To a 12-year-old who just liked stupid humor. It was great.
Oh man.
It is not great. Like we might watch that for my birthday just so we can shit on it.
Add it to the list, I guess.
Oh Lord.
Hey Pat,
Well,
I've
Pat,
heard-
add the pest to Captain Shimmy's list of
right.
short list.
It's going on the shim file.
Oh,
'Cause it's ooh.
I guess before we
something.
shut her down, we could talk about some Cage News. Pew pew. No, I don't know. I don't
Cagey
know why.
News.
I don't know why I added like pew pew to it. Well, we haven't been here for a while. We haven't had a chance to talk about it. Cage isn't going to play Joe Exotic anymore.
Yeah, no, that made me very sad.
Yeah.
I just remembered a Cage story I wanted to tell earlier in the day at her, but continue on with that.
I mean, that's just it. Like,
Yeah, that's all I had to say. It made me very sad.
Oh, and there's another story I saw today that Cage apparently is dropping out of the National Treasure
really?
reboot.
Oh, that's upsetting.
Really?
Sad.
I saw it on our
God damn it! He listened to our show.
Well, that should have spurred him on.
God damn it! I thought of the word and then lost it.
Also,
Our contemporaries. There you go.
Also, apparently, and it's upsetting. Pig is a modern day goddamn masterpiece, and we can't watch it.
Apparently.
Right.
like I have checked for every day since the last week, and there is not a single theater within like 50 miles
Like as
playing
of,
this movie.
As of I guess about 3 hours ago when I took the screenshot on Rotten Tomatoes, that motherfucker is at a 97 out of 106 reviews, and the audience score is at 84%, which apparently 100,000 plus people have seen this movie. Is it out? What?
Yeah.
It came out, I guess, in theaters to 16th.
I'm mad. I want
guess
to be a
it's,
part
like,
of
really
that crew.
select theaters.
Okay, as far as National Treasure 3, all that he said was he doesn't know if he would want to go back and make another Disney movie because it's a whole different climate and he's not used to it after all these smaller independent films. But when Disney backs a dump truck full of money to his door, he's going to say yes.
Yeah.
It's like, Sir Cage, we will give you $100 million.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'll do it. Thanks, Nick.
And then like Mickey Mouse comes out of a doorway and just leads him into the sunset.
Let's go make a movie.
I'll get
I'm gonna steal it. What? I'm gonna steal.
Everyone has a
Mickey
price.
Mouse. You're gonna steal Mickey Mouse? What?
No, but just his ears.
Just his ears.
I do want to watch Pig, though. As soon as it's available on streaming, whatever we're doing that week gets just shunted to the fucking side.
Yeah.
The second that it's made available to us, to like our grubby, greasy, dripping hands, we will take this movie and watch it, and we will report back to you.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I'm looking up to see when it'll be available.
But while you're doing that, I can tell the Nick Cage story I heard about on
Yeah,
my
do the
pop
thing.
culture and celebrity gossip podcast I
Yes,
was
please.
listening to.
Let's hear it.
Apparently, famed actress, comedian, and Twitter person Tiffany Haddish talked about a certain story about Nicolas Cage. It seems that she went on a date with her and her beau to go see Face Off, and she got finger blasted while watching the movie by her guy, and she had her first orgasm during the theaters, and when she opened her eyes, she saw Nick Cage's crazy bug-eyed expression as she was having her first orgasm.
Oh, like at the beginning of the movie where he's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I heard that story. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
And
that's hilarious.
And then years later, she forgot about it until she saw Nick Cage at some, celebrity event, and then she's like, "Hold on, I gotta tell Nick Cage I busted my first nut, and I saw him."
I think she was working on a movie with him.
And when she did, he took it with good humor. He thought it was the damnedest thing.
well, I'll be damned.
That's pretty great.
But I imagine you having the first orgasm in your life, and Nicolas Cage is the face you see as it's happening. I'm afraid that would rewire my sexuality or something.
Imagine how strange that would be.
Oh, is this the secret Justin origin story?
Justin had his first orgasm to Nicolas Cage confirmed.
No. Everybody knows it was to
I mean,
Street
if it's
Fighter,
anything like
1994.
taking us all the way back around to your first crush, and you're having your naughty thoughts, and also just whatever dude was in that scene, it's like there must have been a movie where Nicolas Cage was in, and just like, you know what, this girl is pretty, but I have to take all of my concentration to not notice Nicolas Cage in this scene.
He's just such a magnetic actor, Pat.
Yeah,
He really is.
The pull of his gravity is inescapable, like a black hole.
I was talking about the show at work today, and one of my coworkers asked me just flat out, and he goes, "So Cannon, what would you say your favorite Nick Cage movie is?" I just told him, I couldn't skip a beat. I was like, I got to say Con Air.
Yeah.
I would say listen to the show, find out for yourself.
Listen to the show and find out.
Hey, giving this away for more free.
Super free.
But see, I thought you liked Face Off better, though. We're going to have a whole fight about it.
I know that's the thing. Like, I did give both of them the same 5-star review, but at the same time, I still feel like I like Con Air more.
And that's
Well, there you
perfectly
go.
fair.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's the better movie.
Well, there goes our debate series.
Yeah,
Shit,
I was say,
done.
like, yeah.
You better rewire that configuration, brother. Go sit in the microwave and see how you feel.
Womp, womp. Kill my children.
Darwin and Piper, if you're listening to this,
No.
run.
I love you, Darwin and Piper. No.
For those of you unaware, Darwin and Piper are actually Cannon and Liz's dogs, you see. So they
best
won't be
dogs.
listening to
They're
the
the best dogs
podcast,
ever.
nor would they be in danger in a scenario much like we saw on Mom and Dad.
Never in a million years. No.
Unless someone makes a movie where people try to kill their pets.
Nobody
That's
would
the
ever.
sequel.
Nobody would ever make that movie after Milo Notice.
I mean, John Wick.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole movie's not about killing dogs.
Imagine if someone get greenlit that movie. It's just 90 minutes of people just killing dogs in the most
I mean,
Insane ways.
Never mind. I can't. I'm not.
No, can't what, Can?
Nope.
Can't what?
What?
Can't what, Can?
You remember that scene in Cruella where she just beats the fuck out of a dog?
They curb stomps a dog like an American
I
History
know,
X.
like American History X. She's like, bam,
Wait,
brains
What
go
was,
everywhere.
what was that
what?
one movie where like they filmed it and they killed a whole bunch of dogs and cats? What was it? Was it Milo Notice? Is that it? Was that it?
Yeah, that's the one, actually. Yeah.
okay. As opposed to the movie where they should have killed all the animals involved, Chicken Little.
I mean, don't they on a daily basis? It's called KFC.
And they're delicious.
Well, it's a good movie with chickens, Chicken Run.
Chicken Run is fucking based as fuck. All right. Fuck, hell yes, Chicken Run. I forgot how much I watched that movie as a kid because it's like tattooed into my subconscious.
I don't want to be a pie.
I do like gravy.
Speaking of gravy, do you know why I really don't like our local KFC?
Because it tastes like doo-doo ass butt.
No, I like KFC in general, but I've ordered KFC for lunch a handful of times, while I'm at the shop via Uber Eats. And I always order the extra gravy because I like the extra gravy, because why the fuck would you eat KFC without the gravy? That's why you eat KFC. And so they sent me my food.
But like, why would you eat KFC?
Because the gravy. I just said that. But more than one occasion, they've sent me my food with everything but the fucking gravy. And that's the point of KFC, goddammit. And it just makes me mad.
I'm not going to KFC just for that fucking shit that I can make better at home.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. I'm having it delivered to me.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But like the gravy
Yeah, I
is
love
why
the
you go to
gravy.
KFC.
I love the gravy.
Like, even their biscuits aren't as good as like Church's, fucking Popeyes, Bojangles.
No, see, if you want something really like memorable and exciting from KFC to eat, it's the Cheetos slime from about 3 years ago. Because mankind was not ready for
That was
that
terrible.
level of flavor, as we found out from our summer taste test back in 2018. So go check that episode out. It's
As a fan
I'm
of
still
the
having
Double
to
Down,
take treatments.
Oh
there's-
God!
like it's like dialysis, but just trying to pump the Cheetos slime.
Exactly.
as a fan of the KFC Double Down, even I can't defend that Cheeto shit.
Look, like, here's the thing: like, you're the only other person that I've ever met that has actually eaten that sandwich. Well, it's not even a fucking sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
It's not a sandwich.
sandwich.
There's no bread involved.
Doesn't have to be bread.
Bread on
Yes,
the chicken.
That's a sandwich.
Yeah,
It's
the,
bread.
the chicken's breaded.
No, that's not how that
That's
fucking
not
works.
what that means.
For those of you who don't know what this atrocity was, it was two fat fucking chicken breasts, right? And in the middle, it had cheese and bacon and a wee bit of sauce. The chicken patties acted as the bread, and the cheese and the bacon and acted as the sandwich part, I guess.
Yeah, and the thing is like, KFC just on its own makes me so sick. I could not imagine eating that sandwich. Like, even taking a bite of that sandwich.
Here's the thing. I
feel like my arteries would instantly just like, nope.
No, I got it, and it was the first food item I ever. I somehow finished the whole thing in one sitting, and immediately after the final bite, I just felt wrong. Like, I didn't feel good. Like, I felt like I needed to shit, vomit, shower, brush my teeth, all at the same time.
That sounds unpleasant.
I know, it's very unpleasant. And here's the thing: like, in a day and age where like everybody's like in this chicken sandwich war that's been going around now since, you know,
I remember the
Popeyes.
days before, the days of yore,
KFC.
before the chicken sandwich war.
I will argue KFC already had the best chicken sandwich, and they don't make the fucking thing anymore. It was called the
Double Down.
Double-lish. No, that's not a sandwich.
No, it's the Double Down.
No, it's not. It's gross, and a heart attack on a bun. And did you have like what, 32 of them?
No, I
like the
only had a
McRib.
couple, yeah.
A couple?
Yeah.
I had one. And I wanted to fucking die.
Like his
Are
body
you kidding me?
His body was never the same. Like he's physically weaker.
But
I didn't say I had two at the same time.
They had. I'm not,
Double fisted, double
like,
down on the
you know
double
what I
down.
wanted to do when I had that? All I wanted was two buns to put those two patties in between. And I'd have like two sandwiches, one for lunch, one for dinner. It would have been fine.
Now the thing that this is what would grind my gears.
Oh, God.
It's that
What grinds your gears, Pat?
the fucking sandwich is like, what if we just made this thing like healthier, quote, and more cumbersome to eat, where we replace the bread with slices of lettuce?
Fuck that shit. Fuck the unwich. It's stupid, and only fucking bitch ass people do it.
I'm sorry. I got to finish my point before I lose my mind.
Okay.
KFC already had the best chicken sandwich. It was called the Double-licious. It was
Double-licious?
yes, it was it was a single chicken patty with the same sauce, the same bacon, and the same cheese. It came on that not a sandwich monstrosity, fucking Double Down, and it had the sweetest, tastiest bun. If anything, the bun made this sandwich, okay? Because, you know, bread is included in a sandwich.
Because good bread can really carry the way
Yes,
for a sandwich.
100%. And for some reason, they just don't make that shit anymore.
Why is it called the Double-licious?
I never understood that. I really didn't, but it was just called. I guess maybe because
KFC
it had
doesn't
chicken
understand
and
the meaning
bacon.
of
I don't know.
What if the sandwich was like a palindrome?
Like the weird,
It's-
I think
it reads the same way forwards and backwards.
Jesus Christ.
like the sauce they put on it. It was like tangy, and it went fucking well with the sweet bread, and of course you had that chicken there and the bacon. So, goddamn, and the cheese.
But the naked cheddar chalupa from Taco Bell is really fucking good, though.
Good night, everybody.
I can't think of a better place to end.
The naked chicken chalupa is pretty bold, though.
Okay.
What? Well,
Now that we've,
Otto, how you feeling?
I feel like Otto's the only one unhappy here.
I think this is more accurate.
I mean, I'd say it's 75% smile and then 25%
Just
frown.
like shitting out a smile.
I think it's uncomfortable.
That's a lot how the double down looked.
Yeah, it just looked unhappy and like a sin against nature.
Yep.
Oh God.
Well, thank everybody for listening. It's
Thank
been
you for bearing with us.
it's been something. I'm not going to tell you next week's going to be any better because I don't know, but it will be Travolting.
I would say to borrow some parlance of the area, we were backsliding this week.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, we did backslide.
But
Lord,
again,
forgive us. I'm
it's-
about to sin.
It's one of those things like we said, Mom and Dad, you can talk about it. We talked about it a lot.
We did.
There's much more ratio there than for like Raising Arizona is still the lowest bar that we have, I think. But this was a good 40-45%, honestly.
I think so.
Yeah, I think
We got the big points.
It's a decent enough mix.
It does make me wonder, what people want out of a show. Do they want just literally to recap moment by moment, or just hit the general ideas? Because I feel like that's what I feel like. Sometimes I wonder, what is the more popular thing, or just to be like us and just fuck it.
Yeah, well,
I mean, I've seen all sorts of podcasts that do all those things.
yeah, I mean, the thing we should stick to is we just keep doing the thing we do and have fun. And if people like it and want to come along with us, then great. We'll
We got to do what's natural for us.
I guess
baby.
you can call us a mixed bag
Yeah.
of sorts.
Yeah. And, if you
We are
don't.
constantly sitting on that fence.
If you don't like what we do, then why have you just listened to us for an hour and 45 minutes? That sounds like a you problem to me.
If you're a real fan, comment butt pussy.
Nope. Don't do that. Don't do any of those things.
Well, we can't because it's not going to show up, remember?
If you're a real fan, visit our merch store at tpublic.com/user/caging greatness.
And then comment butt pussy.
Nope, don't do that either.
in the show notes.
Yeah,
Because they're going to have access to our totally existent show notes.
yeah, we're gonna put all the notes into one doc, and
my
also be
God.
sure to hit that hashtag Bring Back Gorilla Grip Pussy.
I swear.
Whoa.
If we ever do set up a Patreon in the future, I'm just going to be like, good God, the things these people are paying us money for.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to get listeners first.
I know.
We're doing pretty all right.
For $5,000, we'll take a shit on your coffee table.
One guy comes up to the door. I got $5,000.
It's like new listeners are going to hear that and think, wow, that guy's weird. I was like, that's totally a bit that's been said
That
on
man
this
is
podcast.
bankrolling us. it's like how on AYCH this week we slowly devolved from a music discussion episode into just farts and talking about farts
Dude,
for
yeah.
So it's like, what if that's how we project into
We're a fart fetish podcast.
we just the fart fetishes for we just take your calls where you send in your farts and we rate them, and then caging greatness just,
I give that one a 6.5.
just becomes a copophilia podcast.
Oh no, are we going to pull a Divine and eat literal dog shit?
Again,
Bringing it back to John
I'm not.
Waters.
I haven't signed on to do any of these things that any of you have said, and no.
Well, I know I speak for myself when I say I missed this last week.
I did too. I'm not gonna lie, it was weird.
And I'm sure like the 6 people that listen to and enjoy us probably kind of missed it a little bit too, maybe, perhaps.
It's like you missed that little annoying sound that you come accustomed to.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't know what to do now that it's gone.
So, Jonathan, tell us, without screwing up, where the people can find you.
My name is Jonathan. You can follow me on Twitter at JONIIBOI24 and John Johnson 12 on Letterboxd. Fuck you. Suck my dick.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Suck my dick.
Fuck you.
I love. See, I don't even like. I never really tried, but like I just like don't anymore. Like Justin, you're like literally staring, just like.
Yep.
Like, I'm scared he's going to shit his pants. Like he looks like that one kid with the meme who's just like, ugh.
Well, see, that's actually the $2,000 Patreon tier. We'll come to your house and we'll shit our pants in front of you.
Yeah, so we just kind of like this weird, like, it's like prostitutes, but only with poo.
We only do scat.
We talked
We talked about.
salad and scrambled egg.
Welcome to Free Jazz McDonald's.
Pat,
Yes.
where can the people find you?
Oh, we're plugging now? Okay.
Yeah.
You can follow me, Patrick, on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd at John Lost His Name. My art on Facebook at John Lost His Name Art. Go follow us on AYCH feed, where, as I mentioned, we talked about 4 of our favorite albums. This is the second time we're having a discussion. And while there is some fart talk, there's a lot of really cromulent music discussion. Also, if you're listening to this episode the week this comes out, Friday, July 23rd, we have a very special episode, our first crossover episode with a show outside of the network.
Whoa.
It's where I have a sit-down interview with a gentleman from a Ultraman podcast. We talked about Ultraman, Tokusatsu, the fandom in general, and just have a great conversation. So it's a very new thing. Hopefully we can branch out and talk to new people, and I think it'll be very much worth your time. Even if you're not into Tokusatsu, it's just a great conversation.
And then it devolves into farts.
Ultraman farts confirmed.
You'd be surprised. How do you think he kills the monster?
Canon.
Oh, well, I am That Canon Guy. You can find me at That Canon Guy on Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And I just want to bring up that we talked about this before we even came downstairs. Still haven't told that story.
Right.
And this would have been the perfect podcast to do so.
Right.
And now we're still going to leave them in the dark.
Yeah, that time that you said you could kill 1,000 children.
I didn't say I could kill them. I said I could take them down in combat.
I'm Captain Shimmy. You
And
can
that
find
is
me-
that has gone up to 7,000 now, and apparently we're going to have to wait another 3 episodes before I can elaborate on that story. And also, there was a point in this podcast, it's not a video podcast, that Jonathan picked up a microphone that is not plugged up and put it to their face, and was talking to the real microphone at the same time as the one that was plugged up, and I thought it was funny.
I did see
I
that.
just
and
I
enjoyed
just
it.
wanted the world to know.
I wasn't even doing that as a bit. I was just doing that as a take.
Yeah, Johnson had a lot of nervous energy in this episode.
Okay, just to give everyone a quick preview, because we will bring it up next time, because, I'm sure there's somebody going like, what the fuck are they talking about? The beating up 7,000 children thing comes from... it comes from an argument that broke out about how many children do you think you could fight off
Specifically 4-year-olds.
successfully. And there are a lot of parameters, whether or not they're bloodlusted, do you have a weapon, that sort of thing. It was a pretty big discussion over a couple weeks. So since Cannon will be in charge next week,
Oh, yeah.
Probably-
It's going to be my show, and I can finally tell the story.
Yeah, you're just like, fuck the movie. We're get to this story out, goddammit.
So we're watching Grease.
oh,
And no,
Summer Lovin' had me a blast.
no, I'm kidding.
Summer loving,
Or am I?
I don't know.
fist in the ass.
I guess you'll just have to find out next week on Travolting Development. And I am, of course, Captain Shimmy. You can find me at Captain Shimmy's Kind of Art, Captain Shimmy's Almost Music, or at the comic strip in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You can also find us on Cajun Greatness, the Facebook, the Instagram. You can find us all over. If you're listening to us here, you probably already found us in one of those places. So why not go check out our merch store at tpublic.com/usual/Cajun Greatness. Thank you all so much for listening. and we bid you a poo.
You've been practicing that shit, haven't you?
No, that was all off the cuff, and I'm really fucking impressed with myself, legitimately.
Roseanne Barr is a monster fucker confirmed.
I mean, she's a monster, sure. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
We all shitted for $5,000.
How absurd.
Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
How absurd.
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.